So 3 ways to address this. One's obvious for this room, it's goals. But I would just challenge this room that sometimes goals become we become numb to them, or it can be a once-a-year activity that sits in a drawer. And I just suggest it's something that you're living. And do you have that passion? You know, Matt Newberger talked yesterday about what's your passion, and he touched on this. But do you have something that gets you out of bed in the morning, or is goals an intellectual exercise? And you show me someone who's hungry, they got something they're shooting for, whether we call it a goal or a destination or whatever we refer that to. Next one is personal development. Okay? Where is your personal development commitment? You've probably heard this saying, you're either green and growing or ripe and rotting. And you got to ask yourself, where are you? And when I go to a conference, not so much here, but if I'm at a trade show or something, and someone hears what I do, they like to kind of boast, puff their chest out and brag and say, I have 20 years sales experience, which is usually code for this. They have 1 year times 20. Who here knows people like this? Right? That's just the movie Groundhog Day. Who's seen that? Like, that's a one-trick pony. You're doing the same thing over and over again. So 30 minutes per day is the gold standard on this one, from what I've observed and read. And the last one for staying hungry, I think, is really key, that sometimes is overlooked, is mastermind. And Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich talked about the mastermind. The most successful people in the world surrounded themselves with others who helped them get better, who pushed them, who helped drive them. Now, this room is a pretty good mastermind. It's 2 days. How many of you feel like after 2 days here, you could probably be making cold calls like right now, way better than you typically can? And you like this continue? Right? But this is like, I don't even know our dates, March whatever of 2019. It's a long way to wait to make cold calls. Not a good move for your cookbook. So we need masterminds outside of this room. So for some of you, this is our managers program or President's Club. Many of you have that place you go. But what other masterminds are you involved in? What can you seek out? What can you create? What can you join? I have a few that I'm involved in, and I pay to be in them. A significant amount of money I pay to be in them, but I know the people in that room are going to help me grow and help push me. And it's really hard to get comfortable in these groups that I'm in. Like, really hard to get comfortable. I'm like the lowest one on the totem pole, which is cool because it shows me what's possible just when I start getting comfortable. So what kind of mastermind can you find, seek, create that would help you stay hungry? Okay, so what you're going to do with a partner or partners, just 2s or 3s, because the table will be hard to do this, is I want you to share basically how either the technology piece stuff is affecting you or just more the comfort zone personally. You could pick either one, but how do you see this fitting for you? Because I want today to be what do we need to be ready for? It's a thinking exercise around what should we be ready for and concerned about with these dangers of success. So just a couple minutes to do that. So I want to wrap with this. I recently saw Darkest Hour. Who's seen this? I'm thinking the last person, that I know who saw it, everyone's like, oh, you didn't see it? But at the very end, on the closing credits, there's a great quote that comes up and says this: success is not final, failure is not fatal, it's the courage to continue that counts. And for today, that all makes sense, but I think especially this first part, success is not final. I think we get in this success trap where we think we've made it, and that's where the problems can begin. So one last thing, those robots. And by the way, I sound like a little buzzkill today. I don't want to be that. I'm really encouraged, actually, with all this technology. We're going to figure out how to use it. And those of us in this room that are on board with disrupting ourselves and being a bit paranoid and staying hungry, we will figure this out. And the cool thing is, a lot of our competition won't, and we're going to leave them in the dust. That's what's cool. And the other thing that's cool, is that cool? The other thing that's cool is the robots haven't figured everything out yet, okay? So I just want to show you our old friend, the robot. He's not as cool as we think he is. Let's play this last one. Hey, have a good rest of your day. Thanks.